my name is Ecoia, and this is my channel. Welcome to EcouiaTV, and I'm doing my review on the movie Selma. So, if you haven't seen the movie Selma already, it is a must-see. I'm giving it 2 thumbs up. It's worth all the hype. Everything you heard about it, it is worth it. Go see it. So, pretty much, if you don't know, the movie Selma is about when Martin Luther King came down and led a march from Selma, Alabama to the capital of Alabama, Montgomery, in order to get blacks. Well, we had the right to vote, but they were pretty much killing you, playing games, just doing things, putting a lot of obstacles and all these things on you as a black American when you went to go register to vote. So that's how the movie opens up with Oprah, her character. Please forgive me, I can't remember her name, but she goes down to the register to vote and is denied registration. And so it just goes into all the struggle and all that people went through, black Americans, my people, went through to have their right to vote. So it's extremely important. First of all, I don't want to try to get too soapboxy because I know this is a review, but let me touch on this. If you do not vote, you have to vote. After you see this video, you will see the importance of why you have to vote. Okay, now back to the review. So the movie is excellent. Ava, I'm going to say her last name wrong. Excuse me, I got to look at my notes on my phone. Ava DuVernay, who directed the movie, did a beautiful, beautiful job with the direction, just with the writing of the movie, everything. I think they did a wonderful job of humanizing Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King is larger than life. I mean, the things that he has done for people, especially my people, it's just amazing. And so I thought that they did a good job of humanizing him and Coretta and really showing you that even though he was larger than life, he's a man, right? Because he is a man. And so I thought they did a beautiful job of showing that and showing their relationship. I know there's some controversy, and I don't want to go into that to give too much away, but I thought that I thought was handled beautifully. I thought David Oyelowo and Carmen Ejogo, who plays Coretta, I thought they did an excellent job acting. I hope that they win some type of award for their acting in that movie because it was phenomenal. All of the actors, by the way, were phenomenal. But David, for him to be Nigerian and raised in Britain, you would never know. He did a beautiful job capturing Martin's voice, and even he looked like him. He looked like Martin. They did an excellent job with costuming, just everything. There's nothing that I can really say, and I really cried, and I was touched by the movie. I think for me and anybody who's in my generation who was born in the 70s or below, I think it is extremely important that we see this movie, especially when a time as this that we're living in, when all these injustices are happening. I don't even have to go down the list, but we know with everything that happened in New York, everything that happened in Ferguson, I think this movie, the timing couldn't be more anointed and appointed. I think that it is an extraordinary movie that shows, how much progression that we have made, but also how much more progression still needs to take place. And one of the great things about the film that it does is it shows the team behind Martin. That even though Martin was the face and he was extraordinary in what he did, it took a team in order for him to have that and to do that. And for them to make the moves that they did, it was a team, and everything was thought out and everything was planned and everything was methodical. And they thought out everything, they laid out everything, but they did it as a team. They worked together. No one person was stronger than the other one. I think that is something that we all need to think about now, especially when we're protesting, doing things. So I thought that was extremely important. I took that away from it. And then the other big thing that touched my heart is how close that is to my life and generation. I think sometimes we read about Martin Luther King and the history of Black people, and I don't like to say Black people because I think that our history is American history. We are Americans, but I think sometimes we forget because we live off of the fruit of the labor and off the backs of so many that lost their lives so that we could have all these beautiful, wonderful privileges that we do. And I think we forget that. And I think we forget that it was not that long ago. I mean, my mom was a child when Martin Luther King was born. You know, some of us, our grandmothers and great grandparents were slaves. We are descendants of that. And I think it's so important that we see that, because it will remind us of that. And I think it will change. I know it did for me, how you move in this world and in this life and the choices that you make, especially when you see the horrific suffering that people did, and people pay the ultimate price with their lives. So I hope that you will go see Selma this weekend. If you haven't, it is for all people. It is not just for Black people. It is for anybody who is an American. One of the great things in the movie is after Bloody Sunday. If you don't know what Bloody Sunday was, you'll see it in the movie or you can read about it. But when they marched and they were attacked and beaten and anyway, Martin called for people to come to Selma of all races and anybody who believed in the injustice that was being done to come march. And they did. They did. And a lot of whites came, and unfortunately some lost their lives for coming to support the movement. And so when you just see that and you understand that people made the ultimate sacrifice so that little old me, and I don't want to get too emotional because this is a review, but it's so important. I want to say thank you to Oprah and Ava for putting this movie together, for all the producers. I did see that Brad Pitt was one of them. So much, thank you so much for putting this movie together. Again, I can't tell you enough how important it is for us to see, especially, like I said, those of us who came after the civil rights. It's important for us to see and to remember and to know. I think it will change how we do things, and especially, like I said, in a time like this when so many Blacks are losing their lives for nothing. I think it is a great tool and laid out a great blueprint of how we can move and how we can think and go forward and make sure that future generations and my grandchildren and children will not have to suffer the injustices like Martin, and his generation did for us. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this, like I said, I'm giving Selma 2 thumbs up. Please go see it. I would love to hear what you thought about it, your reviews, what you thought was good and bad. I can't tell you anything bad because I really didn't see anything. I thought it was extraordinary. So, yeah, I would love to hear your reviews and see what you thought was good or what wasn't, what you thought, could be better, or just whatever your reaction was. Did you cry? Whatever. I would love to hear. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I'm going to be doing more reviews like this. Remember to keep God first and create your own opportunities. Shh, Madison. No, Maddie, I'm trying to do my review on Selma.